So I have thin hair, right? And most of my life I never really knew what to do with my hair, alright? I just kind of wore it down and shaggy for as long as I can remember. But I became pretty self-conscious about my appearance probably middle of high school, so I decided to revamp my look and especially focus on a hairstyle. But the problem is, with thin hair, you don't find a lot of techniques for having good modern hairstyles. Usually people with thin hair just kind of cut it really short and don't really do much special with it. It's like our hair isn't really designed for it. You see, most modern hairstyles, especially like the quiff hairstyle, the side parts, and the undercuts are all meant for people with thicker hair. And for people like me, it was very difficult trying to find a hairstyle that matched my hair type. And after a while, I settled on a haircut that I really wanted, which was the undercut. Specifically one I saw from Blue Mon, which was a disconnected undercut that was like a sort of side swooped, pushed back kind of hairstyle. And that was one I really wanted to get, but I never really knew how to execute it properly. But maybe after a few awkward hairstyle transitions, yeah, I finally managed to this hairstyle. See, I don't even know if that transition made sense, because I completely forgot what I said when my hair was flat, so if that sentence was not English, sorry. So this has been my haircut for about a year now. This is an undercut, and it is kind of styled like a side part, but it's also a little bit pushed back, especially all the way in the back. And it served me pretty well. It's a really good hairstyle. So the first thing you need to know about achieving a hairstyle like this is it needs to be cut right. If your hair is too short for this, your barber is not going to be able to magically grow hair on you. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit before your hair will grow to a length where it will behave in this way. So to get a haircut like mine, this is what I tell my barbers. So I like the sides right here from about a 3 to a 5. That's usually how I get it cut. It grows out a little thicker up here, and I like it when it's more rounded like that. But since my hair's so thin, even if I went up to like an 8 on a razor, it doesn't make that much of a difference. So I just like to make it easier for my barber that way. The part is parted right where my hairline is, so it's a little lower than a natural part. And it goes all the way back, and it's equal on both sides. So even though technically I flip my hair this way, this side is still cut at the same hairline. I don't know if you'd be able to tell, but it's parallel on both sides. The hair on top is about 4 inches at the very front right here. As of right now, it goes down to about my nose. So it might be longer than 4 inches actually, because I haven't cut my hair in about a month. But it's got a good length on the very front. And I usually tell my barber to cut it ever so slightly less, or ever so slightly more going towards the back, so it's about 4 inches on front, maybe about 3.5 inches in the back. That's just kind of the way people cut their undercuts. I don't really know. For the back, I usually get it cut tapered off. Right now it's obviously not, because I've let it grow out for about a month, but usually I get it tapered off and it blends sort of up. And then up here in the back, there's a lot more hair there. I like to leave it kind of long up towards the top of the cut, just because it makes it look thicker, and especially when you see when I'm styling, I like to puff it up in the back to definitely add more shape and more volume to the back. So because my hair is so thin, and if you're watching this video and your hair is thin as well, you know that your hair lays extremely flat most of the time, and it shapes to your head, and once it absorbs sweat, it looks pretty gross.
What the fuck is that?
You definitely get some bad head. That is kind of just an inherent result of your genetics. Your bed head looks like fucking Goku. So there's a lot of tips and tricks that you have to learn to give your hair some more volume, and I'll go through that just in a second. But for now, I'm going to show you what you need to have in order to style your hair this way. The most important part to styling your hair when it's very thin is you need a really lightweight product, preferably a really dry one as well. So the only one that I really know of right now that I know for sure works with my hair is Hanz Fuko Quicksand. This stuff is super lightweight. It's actually made out of Quicksand. It has a high hold drying matte finish. That's what it's advertising on the front. It's made of diatomaceous earth. Okay, it's a super lightweight product. It's been reviewed before, but most of the people I see reviewing it have, relatively thick hair, and they use it for more of like the beachy texture rather than the lightweight styling capabilities. And I literally found 0 tutorials on how to do my hair this way, right? I watched the Bloom On video as sort of a baseline, and then throughout me styling my hair, I tried many different products for one. I tried some stuff by American Crew, I tried some stuff by It's a 10, then I tried Hanz Fuko Claymation, which was the best out of the 3 I had tried, but it still weighed my hair down, it still wasn't that dry, so I ended up settling on Hanz Fuko Quicksand, and it has served me well for the better part of a year. The next thing you're going to need is a paddle brush, one of the really light, soft ones is the one I prefer because it doesn't hurt my head. That's going to be like sort of your brute force push in this direction styling mechanism. The next thing you're going to need is a fine tooth comb. This is how you're going to hold your hair in place. This is how you're going to get that really, how do I describe? This is what you do to hold your hair up to sort of make it less broken apart, put it all back together sometimes. Oh, you're gonna need this. All right, we'll figure it out. And then you're going to need a hair dryer. Now, the thing about this is that it's kind of a weak hair dryer, so the high setting, it isn't really that high. It doesn't really get that hot either, and it doesn't really blow that hard, and also the hole is a lot bigger than most hair dryers I see, so I like to use it with an open hole. I don't like the sort of like narrow attachment that people use. I find that the open hole is a lot more general and hits my hair a lot better than the flat ones. If you can find one with a bigger hole, I would go with that because I know that works for me, but everyone's different, I guess, so just use whatever you can. And this is super optional, but for a shampoo and conditioner solution, I like to use Sheer Volume by Pantene. It's just a volume solution. I'm not really sure if it actually does anything because I've tried different shampoos after using these and it didn't make much of a difference. But it's definitely a placebo effect in play, and that's fine with me. It's cheap. You can find it at Walmart for like $4 a bottle.
Now for the styling process. The first step is to get your hair wet, whether it's directly after washing it or just rinsing it. You're going to want to towel dry your hair until it's damp. Be careful not to dry it too long because it's easy for short, thin hair to lose water, and you want it to remain damp as it acts as a fresh canvas. Now the first trick to getting more volume is to style your hair in the opposite direction it grows. My hair grows to the right, so I'll be brushing it to the left. Brush it all over to the side and then begin brushing it towards the back and around until it's neatly in place. Now to apply the hair product. One thing to note is that if you already have hair product in from the previous day and you didn't shampoo it out, you should use a bit less product each day you don't wash. Rub the right amount of product completely into your hands. Usually I can tell I got enough product when my hands are ever so slightly milky looking. Then apply the product equally throughout your hair in the direction you brushed it. I make sure I puff up the extra hair in the back because, as I said, it adds more volume and shape. Get all of the hair product into your hair until it's fully coated. Next, take the paddle brush and once again brush it in the direction you want it to go. I also brush down any flyaways on the side to get it as clean as possible. Now to use the fine-tooth comb. For me, I like to place it at the back of the part first because that's where my cowlick is at, and it's the trickiest part to get in place, so I start there. Now onto the most important part, the blow drying. Push up the comb to about the middle of the length to prevent your hair from bending in the wrong direction, and blow dry until completely dry. It's easy for the comb to slip out, so you might have to put it back a couple times. Do this for the entire side until it's dry. I put extra emphasis towards this side to ensure it stays. For the front, take the comb again and once again hold it towards the middle, pushing your hair forward to ensure it doesn't get slicked back too far, and blow dry. I run my comb through the side and front so that it's all in the right place. Now for the other side, put down the comb and pick up the paddle brush. Brush your hair back and around like before and blow dry inwards. Make sure you run your blow dryer all throughout your hair a couple times to get the mist hair at the center of your head as best as possible. Once I'm done blow drying, I use my fingers to shape my hair as it is the most precise. I blow dry some more for emphasis. And right here I have to open my bathroom door because it's getting sweaty as fuck in there, oh my god. And then I take a tiny bit more product and run it into my fingers because it's pointless to rub it all into your hands again. Run that bit of product through your hair's direction once more to ensure a better hold all day. Lastly, I like to use the cold air feature on my blow dryer to freeze my hair product into place. Plus it feels pretty damn good after a hot shower. You can see me holding my hand above my hair to ensure hair doesn't fly in the wrong direction. After you're done, brush and mess around with it to your heart's content. One thing you can't see on camera is I use a mirror on one of those medicine cabinets right next to my main mirror in order to see the sides of my head clearer. That about does it for the styling process. This is the finished look. It'll definitely take a lot of trial and error to get it the way you want it because everyone has different hairlines and different head shapes. But anyways, hopefully this tutorial was helpful for guys with thin hair like me. Thanks for watching.